are such an asshole.
Hello, children. Hang on. I got to write something down. We got to bang them out today. It's been manual labor, Cappy. Okay, boom, got that. All right. Asshole consultant, how you kids doing? Cappy's working on manual labor. You kids I don't want to know what it's like. Hi, Cappy, longtime follower. Just keep my name and salary anonymous. I won't share anything that is super identifying. I currently work in a STEM field at a large banking institution. I studied my STEM field in college and I'm currently working on my master's degree in also related STEM field. I make a lot of money. He makes well above six figures. We'll put it that way, with a significant bonus. I've been here for a while and have 10 years experience in the field. The job has not been anything that was described. In banking? No. No way. Banks? With the dumbest people heading them, lied about the job description? I would never, you're kidding. Instead of my field, I spent my day populating Excel spreadsheets with customer addresses, sending lists to do things and stuff with it. You work in Excel. Gee, where have I seen that? Like, I got all this ability. No, just use Excel. I don't like the shading of your charts. And then that banker got punched in the face and they don't know what happened. Oh my God. He's got a concussion. What happened to our senior analyst? I don't know. This role should probably be automated, but the company I work for is too stupid for that. A bank? Too stupid? What? Sir. They're geniuses. I've only had 2 to 3 projects that could be considered in my field. The rest is glorified data entry. It's by far the least STEMmy-like job I've ever had. As far as time commitment goes, sometimes I get busy, but on average, I have about 1.5 to 2 hours of work a day. Normally, I wouldn't care. I'm not one of those white girls from the suburbs who thinks that a job has to be about saving the world. I'm more concerned about the longevity of my role at the company and what it means for my resume when the time comes for me to find a new role. The division of the company I work for is losing money hand over fist, a certain percent year-over-year losses. The leadership really doesn't care, and the business has been in a steady decline for almost a decade at this point. Well, then they don't care. I mean, like, yeah, if someone with their head out of their ass got in there and took over the bank, then maybe they'd stop this decade-long trend, but it looks like it's just going to continue. I'm concerned there will be a day where the company decides to do an expense event and leadership gets the axe out and I end up laid off. I'm also concerned that my marketability will be significantly lowered given the shitty experience and projects I'm getting in this job. I might have to exaggerate about my experience at the job. What do you think about what would you do in my situation? Is it time to think about leaving? It is just like your wife. It is always time to think about leaving. Employers are, okay, let me explain it to you here, okay? Employers are here to serve you. You are not here to serve the employers. If there's another employer that's got a better job offer, you take it, especially banking. Banking, I'd have a hard time not sabotaging. By the way, I don't think I'll ever work in banking again. But if I ever had to go back into banking and there was any fucking bullshit, I'd fucking carpet bomb it or firebomb, whatever. I'm like, oh, I guess we're filing a report with the feds. I guess I'm getting a lawsuit. I'm going to make your life fucking hell. But that's more of a personal preference. I said, is your pay decent for your profession, a guy with your experience? He says, yes, it's pretty solid. They're paying me around what I'd expect to make elsewhere, maybe even a little bit more. All right, so let me get back. All right, here's the deal. It depends on what you. It's a blessing and a curse, right? I was in the same situation. Rarely Rarely while working in banking, and by the way, this is all banks, rarely are you going to be challenged to have more than 4 hours a day of work. Okay. Bankers and banking management is just that dumb. Most of corporate management is that dumb. So it prob 1.5 to 2 hours a day, and you just using Excel. That is, I remember times I'd be like an intern and they just had me do filing back when we had physical files. So you can look at it as a blessing because, well, you got 6.5 hours a day to do what you want. And when I was in banking, that's what I did. I would go out and do research. I'd do research for my blog. I'd write blog posts. I'd go and write. I wouldn't let the time atrophy. It's kind of, you're almost in a weird situation where you're like a security guard. We got all this time in the world. You can double dip. What are you going to do with it? So the difference though between this and a security guard position, security guard at night, ain't nobody looking over your shoulder. Like when I had to go fill 5 hours in a day, I'd be researching what? Economics, the housing market, whatever. So if they saw, they're like, oh, he's doing research. And in a certain way, I was a better analyst, a better economist, because I was much more researched and informed. You if you wanted to raise ferrets, I don't think you could be searching how to raise ferrets. That's going to pop up. So you seem very serious about your career and profession. Are there other things that you could be doing, like certifications, added research, something that would be in line where say, well, what's he doing? We'll take a look at his internet. Oh, he's just going to the certification site. He's studying his field, right? Whatever your field might be. If there's somewhere you could kill two birds with one stone, I'm not just promoting to sell my book. I'm promoting to sell my book. And there's a ton of things in here that you can do. Can you do stuff on your phone? Can you do things with a personal computer? What about estate plan, right? In one way, you got this great opportunity where you were paid a very handsome salary for very little work. And I'd almost use this time to make some people complain. There's just not enough time in the day. I got to get groceries. I got to get this. I got to do this. I got to do that. You don't have to be one of those people, right? You got 6 hours a day to clean up all the other shit in your life. Managerial shit, right? Not your garage, because you wouldn't be at the office. While you are not being used and you're getting paid, why not get your life in ship shape? Do you have a living will? Do you have a regular will? Are you in the market for a house? Why don't you do a little bit of house shopping? Have you set up a 401k IRA? All your finances, all your legal, all your back office shit that you got to do. Are there things that need to be fixed at your house? Can you schedule someone to come? Like I would go through your house. Where are all the house projects? And say, okay, I'm getting a plumber in on this. I'm getting somebody in on that, the landscaper, and then on this, assuming that these are competent people, which is a big assumption. All the boring back day minutia that girl boss. I remember baby boomer, the Murphy Browns of the world, right? Baby boomer women would come home because they had a girl boss. And there's just no time. There's no time. I mean, I'm running around. There's no time, right? Some guys did it too. I just remember particularly baby boomer women. There's just no time. There's just no time. Meanwhile, dude, for all you baby boomers, fuck you reading the newspaper. Oh my God, all the days you all wasted your time reading the newspaper. Fucking go out there and mow the fucking yard. Anyway, there's all this other back office, long-term, boring, legal, financial type of work that you could be doing. And I would be doing that at minimum. while you have this opportunity and you're paid a very handsome salary. That's what I would be doing. I take advantage of it. If you had an entrepreneurial idea and you could use your phone and somehow stay off the system and you could run it from behind the scenes, cool. So, whatever it is that you want to do. But I would come up with a list and I would start with this book in the back, in the index. Look at that. A checklist. That'll give you a lot to do. Because yeah, I understand, man. Your skills are going to atrophy. They're not going to, but you've been in the business for 10 years, so you know that you've probably had some luck where they actually use your skills. But yeah, banking, man, you're dealing with midwits, like IQ of 85. And I'm not even joking. That's all you bankers. Bro, sales, bro. Oh, I don't know. That's that nerd square marketing shit. That's what's saving your ass right now, by the way, is all these big idea MBA finance bros who don't want to go through data, who don't want to go through, Excel records. That's yeah, come on, man. In one way, you got a blessing. Like, this is all I got to do. So, certifications, training, if there's a business you want to run on a side, boring, mundane tedium so that you're not Murphy Brown, baby boomer girl boss bitch from 1989. Oh, there's no time. There's no time, baby. I know even some of my male buddies like, oh, there's no time. Well, that's because you sit on your ass and you waste it. So you got a blessing right now that just if you could just get your house and to witness the firepower of this fully operational Death Star, right? You even got the paint with the gloss on top of it, right? Then Starlight, I think that will pay dividends and make your life a lot easier. Like, it would, think about that. 10 years from now, like, hey, did you set up a will? Yeah, 10 years ago when I was working at the bank. Would, were you in their legal department? Nah, they just mismanaged me and I had 6 hours a day to kill, right? Let's take the opportunity now. Come up with a whole shit ton of everything you can do from an office. Man, if you were remote work though, holy shit. If you were remote. Well, that's a third option I had thought of. If there's a way you could get remote and then you do this job and another job, you double dip. I mean, why the hell not? That may be an option for you to evaluate. But if you're remote, dude, I would be doing every house project. I'd be in everything done. I'd be doing my grocery shopping, this and that, and I'd just get everything done. And then when you put in the last screw on your new deck and you painted it with some stain, then I'd start looking for another job. Because whereas, yeah, it's a blessing to have 75% of your time not used and you can use it for other stuff. You are right. You put a tremendous amount of work into your career. Like I've thrown away my career. I've forgotten so much of my statistics and financial method. I forgot it all. I mean, I can look it up now, I guess. But I understand in your field, which is a real field, you put a lot of time and effort in it. You got a 10-year career. Yeah, you would hate to see your skills atrophy. Although I'm of the belief you could just skill up again and refresh it. So it's not that vital or important. But yeah, the money's good, but I'd be especially if you want to progress in your career, I'd start looking for something in a year or two after you finish up all your home projects. Start looking for something that actually uses your skills. If you plan on being in the industry for a while, you're already making kind of executive pay. So I don't know how much higher you want to go. But if your goal is, yeah, I'm a professional person in my field, and this is what I want to do. Absolutely. You can't soar with the eagles when you're surrounded by turkeys. I would probably in a year, after you get everything squared away, then, set up your side business, whatever it is that you wanted to do. Then I'd go find another job because your concerns are real. I don't think you got to worry about losing the job, to be perfectly honest. If this is a large enough bank, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Banks are stupid. Bankers and corporate management are dumb and slow. I'm not saying it because I hate bankers. I'm saying it because I hate bankers, and it's also true. You guys are dumb, slow people, and you should all be replaced by AI and engineers. That's a different topic. They haven't caught on in 10 years. The division is losing money. Obviously, the bigwigs don't care. I mean, if you're bored, you know what you could do is look up the bank. If it's a publicly traded bank, I don't know. Look up the bank and look at how much you see your division is losing money. Okay, I don't know how much money that is, but you could probably figure out how much money that is, right? How much is your one division losing? And then go look at the profits of the bank or the losses of the bank. And let's say your division is losing $10 million. Well, that's a lot of money for a division. Sure, it's a lot of money. But if the if the bank makes $1 billion a year in profits, they don't care about 10 million. What it sounds like is you're like this old, outdated piece, a component of a larger machine. And you're like, this little component of this larger machine, it's not efficient. It could be way better, right? I could do a lot more with this component of this overall machine, but the bigger fish may not give a shit because they just need that component to work, even if it runs at a loss, which indicates to me they just don't care about this at all. In their minds, obviously, they think they got bigger fish to fry. You just stay in your quiet. I'm just picturing you in a basement where they don't care. The numbers come out. And if anyone ever did get to start sniffing around, so what? You got laid off. Yeah, we got laid off. It was a cost-cutting measure. It's not like you got fired. I don't know. I think there's always the chance that tomorrow here comes the efficiency consultant. I don't know. I don't think so. Banks aren't that bright, and they're not that fast, especially large banks. I don't know if you're a large bank or not. What is this? Piece of rust. Man, I'm doing real work over here. Yeah, I'd come up with your wish list. Let's make hay while the sun shines. Get your non-work life as streamlined and shipshape as possible. Any other certifications or whatever, entrepreneur, whatever, anything. And then once it's all done, you kind of got it all right. And if you're worried about your skills atrophying, just practice. Some do, go can do contract work on the side. I mean, might want to think about that. But inevitably, yeah, I'd say after a year, like, okay, put the last coat of paint on the fence. I'm done now. All right, start sending out resumes because I do believe you have an opportunity. Let's go to the soup. Oh, link below is obviously linked to this Zero World Problems, New Standards of Living in a Post-Materialist Economy. If you guys are looking for something to do, there you go. Drew, $2. I'm in a similar predicament working on myself. Yeah. Well, I know back in the okay, let me tell you what I did. I do the research and the blog posts and write books and all that. But I also I would go to the gym. I go walk around the campus. I got great dental practice. I mean, I'd floss my teeth and brush my teeth. I know it's boring shit, but yeah, there's don't let the time go down, man. Don't let the time. Don't just look there at a screen and alt tab. Drew, $2. I'm using it to skill up on certs to get my CDL. Exactly. Good. Drew, $2. Being paid handsomely for minimal work. Drew, definitely using all my leave for appointment. Yeah, that's another thing. If you got medical, dude, go get blood work. If you're a middle-aged man, go test for all the cancers. Yeah, there's a lot of medical work you could do. And while you got the insurance, you might as well do it. Drew, $2. I'm a fan of double dipping. Don't feel bad, Drew. Got my master's, working nights, working security. Athmel Decula, $5. I do all my work in 2 hours, graveyard shift. Then I either read, play video games, or take a nap. Fulfilling, man, who cares? That's what the hobbies are for. I'm if he wasn't worried long term about his career, I'd be like, yeah, dude, like, who cares? $185,000 to go paint my toenails. All right, fine. You know, give me it all. Um, I'll go paint my toenails. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, Asshole Consulting. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.